After heading over to Adelaide for the last 10 years or so for the Tour Down Under for the whole week, I thought I'd put together a few tips for the first time traveller or the repeat offender who's heading over there to enjoy the week in the sun to watch the pros. First up, the weather forecast early on during the week. Oh my hotness. It's going to be very, very hot. Every day over 30 degrees with one day hitting over 41 degrees Celsius. As such, a bit of a public service announcement, Australia has bushfires. Adelaide Hills are all bushland. Be very careful about where you ride and when. Make sure you know your roads, both in and out of where you're heading, and probably don't go for a ride if there is a total fire ban in isolated parts of that bushland. Again, look after yourself, look after others second, and stay safe. And because of that heat, every ride should start with 2 drink bottles. A hot tip, well, a cool tip would be to freeze half your bottles in the freezer overnight and fill the half up before you head out for a ride. Don't be too precious with your water bottles if they crack or you don't like putting them in the freezer. There's freebies around all week to pick up. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing this freebie around during the week, but that's another story. It does go without saying, but I will say it. Pack your sunscreen and lots of it. Maybe even a small tube for the back pocket if you're out for longer rides. On the bike and equipment side of things, take your climbing gears. Adelaide is very, very hilly, and if you're not riding the Pro Peloton, nobody really cares. If you're on a compact chain set or a semi-compact, or you're riding the Big Dog 53 up Norton Summit, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is you can ride the hills that you want to ride within your abilities and to see the sights that you want to see. Sometimes going up Corkscrew can be a pleasant experience in the right gearing. She-Oak, on the other hand, there's going to be koalas climbing trees faster than you can ride up She-Oak. But do check it out, but make sure you have the right gears first. As with any ride away from home, spare tubes, puncture kits, CO2s and pumps, and maybe some patch kits as well. Even if not for yourself, for that person on the side of the road who's doing their 3rd or 4th puncture repair for that day. We've all been there, and you can really save someone's day if you do have those spare in your pockets. Extra points if you have a chain breaker and quick link in your back pocket. Maybe take 11 speed. No one's on 12 just yet. Okay, now you've got yourself and your bike sorted. Where to ride? Well, that's an easy one. David Rossi has a brilliant website called All the TDU, which I'll link to below, allthetdu.com, pretty easy to get to, that lists everything that's on during the week, where and when and times for the official TDU itself and all the events around it. A fantastic resource there that we've used in the last few years over in Adelaide. More on planning the rides from the TDU. If you can find out where every stage starts from, you can backtrack from there, maybe get 60 to 70 kilometres in the hills, rolling back into town to watch the start, and then heading back to your accommodation, maybe even the pub, to watch the stage live on TV. That way you're not caught out in the middle of nowhere in the stinking hot summer sun and having to ride 90 k's back in. Yes, the pro teams do that, but they've also got a ton of support that we may not have out on the road ourselves. Back to more of a public service announcement side of things and some common sense. Yes, I do have to cover them because it's a reminder for me as well. Ride within your abilities. There are some very, very fast and dangerous descents over there, and you'll be riding with unfamiliar people. If you're ever uncomfortable in the bunch that you're in, or if a big bunch swarms around you, hold your line, back off, pull over to the side, catch your breath, and then roll back into town. You're not racing, that's done on the track or out with the pro guys. Just ride within your abilities and have fun, but be safe. Another one I do have to touch on is sticking to the road rules. There are thousands of cyclists in Adelaide during the week, but we are the minority and we are painted with the same brush. If one cyclist goes through a red light, everybody gets angry. If one cyclist wants to defend their right to ride 2 abreast on a blind corner at 8 kilometres an hour up Greenhill Road, don't get into an argument with a car about that. Stick to the road rules, but also use your head. Maybe single file, call out the riders around you, make sure they're safe and everyone gets home, and back to watch the end of the stage. Once you're done with the ride for the day, you want to head back to the tour village. Do check the opening times of the tour village. It has been 12 p.m. in the past. Now it's listed as 3 p.m, which is not quite cricket. I think the racing is actually finished for the day before that opens. So do check the opening times if you're heading towards the tour village/expo, but also check out the other satellite events that are happening around. Rafa have their shed, Specialized have their dungeon, or whatever they call it these days. There's a few other things happening. Again, check the websites for details. My next tip here is to buy stuff. If you need new kit, new tyres, a new chain, maybe that climbing cassette you forgot, drop into a local bike store, tell them you're in town to watch the tour. They're more than happy to take your money and talk bikes. It's us cyclists that keep that event alive and also those retailers in business. So do support the local economy and spend some money over in Adelaide. And lastly, give us your tips. If you're a local in Adelaide, comment below. Let me know what I've missed. Maybe give us some advice to have an awesome week over there in Adelaide. If you can't make it yourself, do follow along on the official channels for the TDU for the women's and men's racing, Also, a lot of other companies are over there as well, tweeting out their rides. The Pro Tour teams all have their social media managers over there. It is a Pro Tour event, so keep an eye on that. And also this channel. Hit subscribe. I'll try and get some videos out during the week. Also, my Instagram and Twitter will also have some snapshots of what's happening during the week. And if you see me over there in Adelaide, come and say good day. I'm always up for a chat. I can talk bikes and tech all day long. Okay, that's enough from me. Over to you guys in the comments. Let us know how to have an awesome week in Adelaide, and we'll see you soon.